The year is 1582. Japan is in the midst of the Sengoku period, an age of warring states, shifting alliances, and the rise of legendary samurai warlords. Vast armies march across the countryside, banners fluttering in the wind, their armor gleaming under the sun. At the same time, in a completely different reality, a modern Navy SEAL team, 12 elite operatives fresh from a classified mission, find themselves caught in a freak experimental wormhole during a naval training exercise. One moment, they're aboard a stealth insertion craft. The next, they're standing on the rocky shoreline of an unfamiliar coast under a red morning sky, surrounded by dense pine forests and the distant sound of taiko drums. The SEALs are armed to the teeth. M4A1 carbines fitted with suppressors, M249 light machine guns, M320 grenade launchers, and enough ammunition for a small war. Their leader, a seasoned lieutenant commander with over 2 decades of special operations experience, quickly realizes something is wrong. No radio signals, no GPS, no satellite link. The air smells different. The villagers staring from a nearby fishing hut are wearing strange robes, their eyes wide in terror. And in the distance, a scout on horseback is already galloping toward a massive war camp. Within hours, news of the strange, ironclad warriors reaches a powerful daimyo, a warlord commanding an army of over 10,000 samurai and ashigaru foot soldiers. To the daimyo, these strangers are clearly a threat, or an opportunity to capture strange weapons. Orders are given. The full force of his army will march to the shoreline and wipe out the intruders. The SEALs set up a defensive position on a low ridge overlooking an open field. They have high ground, night vision goggles, and enough explosives to mine the approach routes. But they know their biggest advantage is not just firepower. It's training, discipline, and the ability to strike first. Against 10,000 men armed with katanas, yari spears, yumi bows, and primitive matchlock guns, the SEALs are essentially an alien army from the future. But numbers have a way of swallowing even the best warriors if they're not careful. As night falls, the SEALs watch through thermal optics as campfires multiply in the valley below. The samurai army has arrived. Rows upon rows of tents fill the plain, banners snapping in the cold wind, the war drums echoing in the dark. The samurai are confident. They've faced Mongol invasions, rival clans, and the deadliest swordsmen of their age. But they've never faced automatic gunfire, flashbangs, or high-explosive ordnance. At dawn, the first assault begins. Samurai archers loose a storm of arrows, darkening the sky. The SEALs respond with controlled bursts from their rifles, dropping advancing troops at ranges no bow could dream of reaching. The first wave falls back in shock, unable to comprehend the invisible death cutting through their ranks. But the daimyo is no fool. He rallies his men, sending disciplined spear formations forward. Under the cover of massive wooden shields, the SEALs answer with M203 grenade launchers, tearing holes in the formations, scattering soldiers into chaos. Still, the sheer number of attackers is staggering. Every time one group falls, another seems to take its place. The battlefield becomes a clash of centuries, modern suppression fire against the roar of ancient war cries. By midday, the ridge is littered with fallen samurai. Smoke from burning siege wagons curling into the sky, and the SEALs are still holding their position, but ammunition is starting to run low. The team leader knows they can't win a battle of attrition. They need a plan that will break the enemy's will before they themselves are overrun. As the samurai prepare for a third massive push, the SEALs prepare to go on the offensive, deep into the heart of the enemy camp. As the sun dips behind the distant hills, the battlefield falls into an eerie stillness. Smoke drifts low over the grass, and the air is thick with the mingled scent of gunpowder and blood. The SEAL team crouches behind a shattered barricade, checking weapons and taking quick swigs from canteens. Their leader, callsign Viper, scans the field through binoculars. The samurai army is regrouping for another charge, but this time, the SEALs won't be here when it comes. They've decided to strike at the heart, the daimyo's command tent, in a lightning raid designed to shatter morale and send the entire army into disarray. Using the fading light as cover, the team moves like shadows down the slope, slipping into the tall grass at the base of the ridge. The distant war drums still beat, steady and ominous. Every so often, a lone samurai scout passes within meters of them, but the seals stay low and silent, night vision optic cutting through the gathering darkness. When they reach the edge of the camp, they move in pairs, weaving between cooking fires and supply wagons. The smell of grilled fish and rice mingles strangely with the metallic tang of blood from the earlier assaults. Two guards outside a weapon rack never hear the suppressed shots that take them down. Their bodies are dragged into the shadows. The team places small explosive charges on ammunition carts, crates of black powder, bundles of arrows, timed to detonate minutes later. The first blast tears through the air, scattering embers and shouts of alarm. Chaos ripples through the camp. Samurai rush to grab armor and weapons, unsure where the attack is coming from. That's when the seals strike the command tent. Flashbangs go off inside, blinding and deafening everyone within. The daimyo's elite retainers, their ornate helmets shining in the firelight, stumble and fall before they can draw swords. In the chaos, Viper confronts the daimyo himself, a towering figure in crimson lacquered armor. For a moment, time seems to freeze. Two warriors from utterly different worlds, staring each other down across centuries of military evolution. The daimyo charges, katana raised, but a burst from Viper's M4 drops him mid-stride. His death sends an instant shockwave through the camp. The seals don't linger. They fight their way back through the camp's edge, igniting more supply caches with thermite grenades. Flames leap into the night sky, casting wild shadows across the field. By the time the samurai realize the intruders have vanished, the damage is done. Back at the ridge, the seals regroup, counting their remaining ammo. Dangerously low, but they don't need it for much longer. Without leadership and with their camp in ruins, the massive samurai army begins to splinter. Some units retreat into the hills, others stand frozen, awaiting orders that will never come. By dawn, the once mighty force is a scattering of demoralized survivors, their banners sagging in the morning mist. From a distance, the seals watch as the remnants melt away into the forests. They've done it, 12 modern warriors holding off and dismantling an army of 10,000. Yet victory feels different here. There's no extraction helicopter, no cheering command back home. Just silence, a smoldering field, and the unsettling knowledge that they've altered the course of history in ways they can't fully imagine. Days later, they move inland, hoping to find the wormhole that brought them here. Rumors spread through Japan of the Thunder Gods, who destroyed a great army with fire and lightning. The seals vanish into legend, their story passed down for generations, until history itself forgets them. But somewhere in the secret files of time, their mission will always stand as one of the strangest and deadliest encounters in military history.